to Ben tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have got different height chairs.
But you know what? I'm from the countryside and everyone's taller than me. Honestly, yeah. I don't know what it is. I didn't get given the fertilizer or something to grow. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today's video, I am here in the Penguin offices with the wonderful author Sally Green, author of Half Bad, which you can see here, and also the new sequel, Half Wild. Very exciting things. So, Sally, if you'd like to give a brief introduction to what Half Bad's about for those who haven't read it or those who need a bit of a refresher.
Okay, Half Bad is the story of Nathan, who's a witch, and he's 14 years old at the beginning of the story, and he's being kept a prisoner in a cage. And the story follows his life and goes back to his birth, really up to his 17th birthday, and his quest to escape the cage, basically, and become a true adult witch. And he's caught between the white witches and the black witches. He himself is half white witch and half black witch. The white witches are the nasty ones who are keeping him in the cage.
That's right, which is kind of opposite to what you'd think, because you'd think the white witches would be the nice, airy, you know, out in the nature kind of people. But what is great is Nathan's kind of on this time quest to find his father, who is the most notorious black witch of the century, Marcus, who is evil as evil can be, and he has to find Marcus to receive his gifts. So it's a very kind of thrilling book, definitely something I'd recommend, a very unique take on witchcraft, so 100% recommend. And what I wanted to do is basically just give some fun questions, find out more about Sally and your connection to witchcraft and what kind of powers you'd want and things like that. So yes, Sally, if you were a witch, what power would you have?
Well, in Half Bad, a lot of the witches have different healing abilities, so I definitely want a good healing ability for a start, because that solves all worries. Yes,
absolutely.
And there's so many good ones, but I think in Half Wild, the new book, we realised that potions, which is already seen as sort of a weaker gift, is actually quite a good one, because you can make potions to do lots of different things.
Yes.
And I certainly like the keeping the youthful appearance potion. That's a really good one. But the other thing I quite like is there's some witches who can change appearance anyway. So that's also quite a cool thing. There's loads.
There are loads.
But I think something to change appearances, which makes me sound so shallow, but yeah, it would be fun as well.
If I could be Beyonce every day of my life, I'd be Beyonce every day of my life. So, yeah, I completely agree. There's a lot of, especially in Half Wild, there's lots of powers that are introduced and explored, which I loved. I think if I could have any power, and a lot of you guys already know this, is I would be able to control temperature. I had this massive thing when I was younger that I wanted to be an angry avatar and be able to control the elements, but I thought controlling temperature is kind of the same. You can affect temperature in the air or in the water in somebody's body. So yeah, that would be my power. But what's great is there are people who can change their appearance in Half Wild. So if you could become any animal, what animal would you become?
I think it has to be a fly. This all comes back to the youthful thing. We all want to know what it's like to fly. So some kind of bird, yes, an eagle or something. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like if I was an animal, I would want to either be a ferret, because of the small, agile creature getting into different places, or a fox. Quite like the idea of being a fox. So with your inspiration of witches, and why witches?
Why witches? Good question, because I don't know a lot about witches. I don't read about witches. My historical knowledge is pretty much zero. But I like the idea of, I think, two things. There's this natural element that I associate with witches and using nature to make potions or whatever it is. So I like the idea of that straight away. And also I like very much the idea that it's a female-dominated society. So there are no wizards in Half Bad or in this witch society of this world. And the women generally have the stronger powers, and they run the White Witch Council and things like that. So I liked that opportunity of putting the women in with a bit of the edge for once, I suppose.
Yes.
And I really like the hunters.
Yes.
They're the sort of Amazonian sort of police force, and a really nasty bunch but strong women. So part of me doesn't like them, and part of me thinks they're great.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of witches. A lot of you guys know that, and I love books about witches. So when you finish writing this series, can I recommend you some books? Just give you a pile of them to read? Or, because I know because I know you said before you don't want to read them, so you don't want it to kind of feed into what you're writing.
I've read all the Harry Potters, so,
of course.
But, well, I might give them a go. I might give them a go. But I have read a few since then but I don't want to, at this stage, I don't want to be influenced too much. I'm creating my own world, so. Yeah. But yes, of course, I'd gladly read what you recommend.
I have many a witch book which I could recommend to you, some that are fantastic and some which you could read and see if they are fantastic or not, because I'm a bit confused about them. Nathan, male protagonist. I haven't seen that many books with male protagonists in, and I really like a male protagonist book because it's, you know, I can connect with it, but also it's an interesting take. So why Nathan? Why a male? Is it because it's around with all these very strong female leads, or?
I just, well, I have to explain. I wrote half bad. I didn't have a publishing deal. I didn't have an agent. I was just a student of creative writing a book that I wanted to write. And you dream of having a publishing deal, but you never think it's going to happen. So I was really writing, for the most part, the best story I could for me, with the hope that maybe one day it would get published. So I wanted, and here I am.
And here we are, Penguin Offices.
So I just wanted to write the story that I felt most comfortable with, and I'd written a short story from a male. I've written a few short stories actually from a male point of view, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So, and I had this idea from Nathan, and I thought, oh yes, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is. Good name too.
So I gave it a go, and it's pretty much, I think you know when you're writing when things are working, and I knew pretty much straight away that it was going well.
Excellent. And I wanted just to inject some, you know, excitement for you guys by just talking about some brief things that may pop up in Half Wild. Not going into detail, no spoilers, but there's lots of different things. I've read the book, and let me tell you, it's really good. There's lots of things that, you know, crop up which I personally loved, and it deals with so many issues. So for Half Wild Book 2, there are so many awesome parts in it. There's lots of travelling between different places. You've got to read. There's some LGBT in here, which I absolutely love. There's lots of character development for a certain somebody who really comes into himself, but in a really poetic, awesome, creative way, because there's kind of a contrast going on, and it's like an inner and outer, and just read it to find out what I mean, because when you read it, you'll understand what I'm on about. But it's a great, great sequel, really action-packed, lots of magic, lots of potions, lots of fighting, and you know, you are given in this book a possible solution to this big, big problem. So you're gonna have to read to find out what that is, because it really sets up book number 3 really well, so definitely check the book out. Now Sally, if you could write about anything else, like if you wanted to explore another genre, what genre would that be? What else would you want to kind of write about?
Well, I'm already thinking about the book I'm going to write after I finish the trilogy, because I'm writing the 3rd book at the moment, and scarily, this time next year I'll be writing something completely different. Right. So I'm beginning to think about ideas, and I have to say, I don't want to write about witches anymore. I've really done witches.
Yeah, you've done witches.
But yeah, I'll definitely write another young adult book. I've got a few ideas. I don't really want to give too much away, but I thought probably be edgy, and there'll probably be killing and violence in it, because that's what I like writing about.
Killing and violence. That's great. I'm so excited about the future books.
But love as well, of course.
Well, of course, absolutely. Love is love. That's my motto. Like I mentioned, there's lots of travelling in Half Wild. Sally, if you could travel anywhere in the beat of a heart, where would you go?
Oh gosh, I think to make it worthwhile, you've got to go somewhere a long way away from you. So I would say places I haven't been. South America, I'd love to go to. Brazil. Oh yes, Rio. Suddenly Rio pops into my head for some strange reason.
It's stunning. I'd love
Have you been?
No, but I'd love to go.
Yeah.
I watched that children's film called Rio, and ever since then, about parrots, the talking parrots, I want to go there. Yeah, definitely, I agree. Anywhere kind of far away, worthwhile. California, because they have In-N-Out Burger. Have you been to California before? In-N-Out Burger.
I've not been In-N-Out Burger, no.
Oh, I would go just for the In-N-Out Burger. If I was hungry for some lunch, that would be me. I'd be shooting off to go get me a nice animal-style burger. You'll know what that means if you're from California. What are your thoughts on the cover design? Because they're very, very unique. I'm just hold this one. This is the proof edition, so it's not got the black matte, but you can kind of see an outline of something on the cover, which I got straight away. of a face, which is great, and on the second one you have the outline of something as well. So what are your views on the covers? Because
I love them. Yes, yeah.
Love them though. Like, what have you got any views for the third one? When are we going to get a cover?
They're asking me for ideas, but I have to say I am rubbish at ideas for covers. And apart from me saying I love them, that was really my input on the cover choice. So I think they're fantastic. The bloody water and this misty green.
Green's my favourite colour too.
And that's all both relevant to the story. But the third one, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, because that's going to be interesting. I mean, when we all saw I know there was a lot of conversation when this came out, and they were like, oh, right, that's on the cover, what's that going to mean? And it was really exciting, so I'm sure when the third and final cover is released, we're all going to be on buzz as well, which is going to be crazy and just mental, and I'm very, very ready for it. So if it could be the time now, I'm ready for the third book, but I know you haven't finished writing it. So thank you, Sally, so much for being on my channel and being a part of this video for me. Like I've said, I've been wanting to do this with Sally for such a long time, so we've finally done it. And what better time in preparation for book 2. So what I'd love you guys to do is down below I'm going to leave Sally's social media links. So definitely go and check her out on Twitter and Facebook, and go and follow her and go and tell her that you watched the video. And also the book depository link down below if you'd like to go and pre-order your copy of Half Wild, or the book depository link for Half Bad if you have not read it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye! Bye. That's so cringy. Do you know what I do at the end of my videos though? That's not even, I can't even do my normal goodbye.